I can totally see us cooking in this kitchen.
I can totally see us cooking like pros with natural gas.
Oh, I would love to soak in that tub.
I'd love to save energy and money with a natural gas water heater.
I can imagine cuddling up in here.
Because natural gas heating keeps the house comfortable when we need it.
We have to get this house.
We have to get natural gas.
We're investing in infrastructure to help bring comfort and savings to you. Visit centerpointenergy.com/natural gas benefits. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
Hey Carter, two questions here, I guess. First, what was it about those first 3 to 4 innings that made it so devastating for you guys? And then secondly, such a breakthrough season for the program. How do you make sure you guys build on it?
We just kind of dug ourselves into a little bit of a hole. But one thing I will say is I'm super proud of all of our guys. We never gave up, fought to the final out, and I think we just have to use this as fuel. Remember what all the seniors taught us this year, all the grad students. Use that as motivation and continue to carry out this goal of getting to Omaha.
Thank you.
And up next, we'll go to Mark Skoll.
Hey Carter, just what's the feeling in the clubhouse right now? How's everyone feeling, and just how special? I mean, obviously you wanted to go to Omaha, but just how special is this season for you guys?
Obviously everybody's pretty upset. We truly believed that we were gonna, make it to Omaha. The season was unbelievable. This was, the tightest group of guys I've ever been around, the hardest working group, and so this season was unbelievable. It's the most fun I've ever had playing baseball, and these will be some of my best friends for the rest of my life. And this journey was amazing. We came up a little bit short, but I just love these guys.
Let's go to Eric Hansen next.
Sorry, Carter. Can you expand about Link Jarrett, what he brought to the program? I mean, it looked like you guys were going to be good last year. What did he do to turn this program around so convincingly and so quickly?
I think one thing, the biggest thing was he brought into a culture that everyone bought into, that, we believe that we could be in Omaha every single year. It's a culture where we all trust each other, we believe in one another, and when you have a group of guys who believe in the culture and believe in each other, you can go really far, and I think that's the biggest thing. Obviously this is a tough one to swallow, but we're going to use it as motivation and continue to work and, hopefully get back to Omaha next year.
Up next, we'll go to Aiden Thomas.
Hey Carter, so I know most of his practice you get to work at first with Nico. Can you talk about your relationship with him and what him and the rest of the seniors have meant to this program?
Yeah, over the past 2 years, me and Nico have grown to be really close. I mean, we're with each other every single day, and it's one of my best friends. He's taught me so much, not only at first base but hitting, just being able to pick his brain. And then as for the rest of the seniors, they started this. We looked up to them as underclassmen. They showed us the ropes, and we can't thank them enough for everything that they've done for us. It was a special year, and we promise to keep this dream going, and we'll make it back to Omaha.
Up next, we'll go to George Bashura.
Hey Carter, what was the message from Coach after the game, and what are your thoughts going forward for next year?
We actually haven't had our team talk yet. I think everybody's still just trying to take all this in, and then for me, I'm looking forward to next year. Tonight's going to push me harder than anything ever has before, and I'm going to work harder, and we're going to use this as motivation, like I've alluded to earlier, and make it to Omaha.
We have time for a couple more. Up next, we'll go to Steve Robertson.
Houston Harding seemed to kind of have you guys all balanced a little bit. What was he doing to kind of keep you guys off base early on?
He was mixing pitches really well. He was using that changeup. It's one of his go-to pitches, using his off-speed curveball slider, and then trying to speed us back up with the fastball. He was throwing to both sides of the plate, mixing well. Just kept us off balance for the first couple innings.
We'll go back to Steve.
Were you surprised when Landon Sims came in when he did? I mean, what's kind of the reaction in the dugout when you see their closer come in with four innings to go in the ballgame?
No, we weren't really surprised. Obviously, that's their guy, and so we were all pretty excited. Obviously, we saw him a couple days ago, and he got us, and so we were ready to go. Obviously, didn't go our way today, and he's a great pitcher. So it's tough to string a lot of hits together, so we knew we had to try and make every at-bat count.
All right, guys, we'll finish up with shotgun spratling.
What made this group so resilient this season? Fall down early in this game and still able to battle your way back.
I think that's just how our group is. We fell behind multiple times throughout the year, and I think that just shows you how resilient and tough this team was. That's kind of part of the culture that Coach Jarrett's implemented here, and we embraced it. We loved being the underdog the whole year, and we never felt that we were out of games, especially with that trust that we had with each other. We always thought we could come back and win every single game.
Coach, first of all, great season. That second inning was a little bit rough for the team to recover from. Looking forward from tonight, once again, you can grow on what happened. What's going to be your message to the team when you get a chance to talk to them?
Well, you learn a lot when you're in this environment. You also learn how beneficial it is to be at home for this event. Thought we had a chance to do that. We probably ended up at the most passionate fan base baseball program in the country. There's a few that are in this conversation, but we learned a lot. I felt like our team learned how to win. Felt like we learned how to play as a team. We were not good enough today. We couldn't get out of our own way on the mound early in the game. Bertrand probably pitched better today than he did when he started Saturday, quite frankly, and we did not know how that was going to go for him. He hadn't done that before, and I didn't want to ever put anyone in a position of not feeling comfortable with that type of assignment or even request to see if you were available. He thought he could get us an inning, maybe two, and once he got into it, and he felt really good. So there were some guys that went out there today, I think, on the mound that felt this stage for the first time. We had minimal experience on the pitching staff, and those guys got their feet wet, and it didn't go the way we had planned. I thought we battled throughout the entire game. That is a really good baseball team. They're athletic. They have arms just one after the other that are all very good. They're well coached, and they were better tonight.
Up next, we'll go to Mark Skoll.
Hey, Coach. Just how much of a bummer is it to just get this close to the College World Series and to just miss out? And then can you just reflect on just how special of a season this was? I mean, really from that first home game with Ryan Cole hitting a walk-off to win it to making it this far, something that Notre Dame hasn't done in a very long time.
Yeah, it really stings. I mean, we knew this was a very tough draw. Again, they're an elite team, and it's just unfortunate that you feel like you have a team that's capable and belongs in Omaha, and you run into this group in their stadium, and I tip my hat to their team and their crowd. And I do feel like our guys learned a lot, and I felt like they competed and battled, and there were moments in it where I thought we really played our style of baseball. There were other moments where we didn't pitch or defend at the level we did this year, and this is not a forgiving stadium. And it really is. It's a tough pill to swallow to know that you were 9 innings away, and the second inning was just simply too much to overcome with the arms that they have. The season in general, like whatever it is, I guess we've played 60 games now with me here, so we really have one season under our belt. Watching them learn and adapt to what we're trying to do has been remarkable. I've never had a group as a head coach or an assistant coach. I think I've won 5 conference championships in various conferences, and I've never had a group adapt to a system the way these guys did. They're intelligent kids. They're in tune with what they're doing. They work. And I just can't say enough about the progress that these individuals made. And when individuals make those sort of strides and commitments, you can see the team, play at a very high level. And I think we saw that throughout the entire season. I don't think in those 60 games we lost 2 in a row. But this one is all it takes in this setting, and they were better today.
Up next, we'll go to Eric Hansen.
Coach, I'm sure in this moment it's probably not easy to look ahead to next year, but just off the top of your head, how do you feel about what kind of team you have next year? And is there a chance John Michael's going to be part of that using the COVID exemption? He'll
be back. We'll probably lose Cole up in the draft. We'll lose Cavadas. And then you have some of the seniors that they have to, number one, get into grad school to have a chance. But we don't lose much. We don't lose much. Now, Cavadas is that's a huge part of your team. Coleup was very, very effective, but you would hope some of the recruiting that we've been able to do, like this group coming in, the majority of them are our recruits, not all. We picked up a transfer last week on the mound that'll help us. So we have to get better on the mound. In this setting, the stuff and the ability to strike people out, we went 22 batters before we struck one out tonight, and that's very difficult. And we have the capability to do it, but we got in position to strike some people out and didn't make pitches to put people away. So we have to learn and get a little bit better in some of those facets on the mound. And hopefully we just continue to mature offensively and learn our positions defensively. Nobody in the infield has ever played these positions until now. So we're still learning, but it obviously looks very bright if you want to look at next year right now.
Up next, we go to John Bross.
Link, how do you kind of balance the disappointment of tonight with what you were able to do all season, but also I know from talking to you feeling like you kind of let one slip away in game 1, and then how do you build on that? And then following up, just part 2, I guess, would be you've referenced a few times now feeling like you should have been at home this weekend. How much are facilities a part of that? How much does that stuff have to be addressed?
It's tricky to win these on the road, and we got a very good team. A national championship caliber team, and I felt like we were in that conversation. When you win the conference by 5 games outright, I was frustrated that you weren't a national seed, because as a coach I asked myself, what more could a team do when you have to play that many conference games and you're the only team that separated itself from the field? Our league was very good, and it's designed for you to have an easier path when you're at home, no doubt about it. The field, the fans, just the dimensions that you're accustomed to, that's the advantage. And when you have the largest crowd in the history of a 3-game college series here, that factors in. I don't think it overwhelmed our team by any stretch, but it does give the home team that little bit of edge of energy, and the timing of the energy helps. So I know you asked me a group of questions there. I don't know if I got enough of it answered, but I don't know. I don't know why we weren't. I'll find out. I don't know.
Well, just to quickly follow up, sorry about that for asking too many. How do you build on? How do you make sure you build on this being so close? And then, do you feel like facilities were maybe part of why you did not get to host?
I don't know. Obviously, our facility doesn't accommodate this number of fans. I don't know if that's a factor when they go down the list. I don't know, John. I need to find out. I'll do my best. And just moving forward from this, learning how to play in these games, the experience is irreplaceable. We can talk about this. We can, pretend that we've been in these settings as a team, and we have not. These guys haven't played a postseason game. Joe Sheridan and Alex Brait maybe are the two that were transfers that played in a postseason game. So the essence of each pitch being so critical and the margin of error being slim and the winner-take-all type game, you can profess to work on that winner-take-all mentality. But until you get in one and experience it in this setting, it's unique. And you can now file this away as a team experience, and the individuals can reflect on what this felt like. And, you see a team dogpile on the mound and you want to experience that yourself. The chinks that we endured throughout these games, Game 1 and Game 3, that kept us from having the dog pile. And you'll never forget the mistakes, and you also never forget the big positive moments that you had. You lump all that together, and there's no way to substitute for that experience. It's very valuable, and it will help.
Thanks a lot, Lynn.
We have time for a few more guys. Up next, we go to Tim Prister.
Link, two things. One, Nico Cavadas, the player and the person, what he's meant to the program. And then you mentioned some grad school possibilities. Has any desire been expressed among Miller, Myers, Cole, Lamana to try to return for next year?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not prepared to get into those conversations right now, Tim. But we have discussed it. Nico Cavadas is an intense, very productive first-class player, first-class person, team captain, delivered for us, helped our team evolve into a championship team. These guys were a championship team. It doesn't feel like it right now, but they won 2 championships. It's not easy to do. And he was right there in the middle of it, and watching him mature as a hitter and learn how to play first base. And when he gets going, he can carry any team at any level. He's remarkable, very talented, and he's not played his last game by any stretch. He'll be just as good with the wood bat. So I can't say enough about him and him helping guide us through our transition, which as a coach is always, it's difficult. And the guys bought in, and he was a big part of that.
Up next, we'll go to Aiden Thomas.
Hey, Link, you answered part of my question right there, but your seniors tonight, 8 hits, 5 RBIs. What can you say about their leadership as a whole for this group and what they've meant to the team?
Well, leadership starts with on-field performance and work, and those guys put in the work in all areas. Don't think that the effort in the classroom goes unnoticed at Notre Dame when you have a 3.2 GPA as a team. Remarkable guys. And you need your older players to set the tone and lead, and you get in this moment and you see them do that. That's what good older players do. They did it defensively. They did it offensively. It's a great group. And if you don't have the older players buy in, trying to turn something around, you're set back years. And there's no doubt those guys led the way and made our transition completely redoing every facet of the program. They were the leaders of that charge, and it paid off.
All right, guys, we have time for one more question. We'll finish with Patrick Engel.
Mike, what did you notice in that second inning kind of collectively that just seemed like guys had a hard time finding the zone?
Patrick, I don't know. Mercer his velocity was 5 or 6 miles an hour. The first couple pitches weren't even close to what his normal velocity is. I thought that scoreboard was spot on the whole time. I was concerned after 3 pitches. He started to settle down, but it just was not in the cards. We thought Rayo, looking at this, having been out there in that the night before and having pitched okay, and he's a lot different than Mercer, so we thought that might be a good matchup. And his changeup, when it's working, has gotten him some punch-outs. Didn't today. Liam had no feel for the zone whatsoever. If I had it to do over again, knowing what I know now about how Bertrand actually felt once we tried to get him going, that would have been a move that probably you inject him in there in the middle of that. But we thought we only had an inning with him. Joe was okay, but the ball was up. So we weren't effective at all, the first 4 guys that ran out there. And they will make you pay. They're physical, they're balanced, they're athletic. And when you're up in the zone and in the middle of the plate, they're going to throttle it. And they did, and they laid off some tough pitches and drew some walks, and the wheels started to roll. So really tough second inning, tough to absorb, tough to strategize through, tough to shake off, tough to process. But those 3 guys are going to learn. Like, they had never experienced this, and unfortunately, the experience right now was bad. But that's part of the deal. We got to grow up a little bit and be better.